We are talking here today about I'm ready for more challenges. I've reached that very privileged position where I have choices which challenges I say yes to and which challenges I say no to. It's interesting that people always have perceived limitations, and if that is removed through information and a certain process, they always get to a space of unlimited opportunity. This is all about choosing the challenges. That wonderful thing, choice, which is the spice and the wealth of life. So few people ever feel they have choices in life. If we break free from those perceptions, you can see those perceptions sometimes as almost for some people like cages, like prisons, like situations where they don't have a key to move forward. And nobody else is going to come and open the door. It's always you that really have the key, if you only know that you have it and how to use it. If you then move to opportunity experiences, people can see that with this system, they mostly, within 6 months to 18 months, get typically 15 to 30% increases communicating differently to different people. Saying yes to the right things, saying no to the things they should. There's a quote that says, no is the most profitable word in the English language. I think there's a lot of truth in that. This is a secure, safe and certain way to get to the ideal challenges for you. Get hold of them, make them yours, and it'll grow your career like a rocket, and never again will you feel in a perceived box. If we then look that you are ready for more challenges, remember that when we work together, we invest and benefit together. If you take to the other people what they want, you will definitely get more of what you want. It always works. It's also called delayed gratification, which you can just look up on the web, but you work hard in a direction. But the better you plan it, the better your insight and clarity, the better chance you have of collecting in the end. So if you look, how do you move forward? Waiting for others is never an option. They are busy with their own stuff, as each of you know. How do I communicate what I already do understand and value, and which challenges I'm keen on? Why am I keen on them? What am I prepared to do to get the challenges I want, from which I will then gain hugely, apart from the fun, also earn money? It simply is to communicate correctly, to be paid right for what you do. The decision makers must understand what you do, and the molehills that is always in front of us and look very big. If we just manage to look around the molehill, we can see the mountains, the blue mountains beyond that we can go and climb. The problem is the molehill is altijd in front of our nose. Very normal, very standard. So working together, investing and benefiting together, the solution to break out of those perceived limitations, perceived they don't give it to me, to where I go and take it. You've got to know what you currently do for whom and what you want to do next. You've got to prepare and communicate what you do and what you want to do appropriately to influencers, decision makers, giving them what they want, often as cheap as a thank you. Then engage and communicate the work and the value as you see it going forward. That will engage you in further input to make the right choices, that you choose the challenges with higher value and more certain arrival. It's very important to note that if you keep on doing the same thing, you probably end up with less, because the effort goes in, the days goes by, and you don't make the gain you deserve. Einstein made a statement that expecting different results doing the same thing often borders on even insanity. Just a brief review, the briefest I can of business. You are a cogwheel either driving or taking energy. Now the new challenges must enable you to drive harder, to fit better, to choose different places to fit in the engine, giving the executives what they need, aligned with strategy, giving the shareholders more return, which gives you more capital and more opportunity, working with the team in an agreed from week to week tasks, making sure you say yes to the right things, no to the things that will not work for you, delivering great value to a client when it comes shopping, remembering the client pays for value that keeps the whole engine going, including getting you growing in your job, choosing the right challenges. Those challenges that you choose must then be aligned with the company strategy, the system internally, the client, and a clear line of sight that the shareholders gets more, so you get more toys to play with. That will for sure make a big difference in moving you from those perceived boxes to the great spaces of choice and almost limitless growth often. So if you look at moving from the boxes to the great spaces, 3 steps. Know what you currently do for whom. Just a brief note. On the website careerdevelopmentplan.net, you will see there's a whole range of tools available to help you along. Just to give you a clue, the value of what you do. In my coaching, in the many companies I've built, I almost never find anybody. Yesterday, I sat with executives from a company that does almost about $3 billion turnover. And which the executives can't articulate the value of what they do in that simple model. So understand it, discuss it, know what you do more of, know what you're going to do less of, and communicate clearly how is that in the interest of all the stakeholders. If you then look, you prepare to communicate. Now this you can do in groups around you, selected people, change them often, don't get stuck with the same people. That gets back to more of the same equals less. So you've got to keep on moving. It's a lot of fun. You make a lot of new friends. This preparation you can do in your groups. All the information is on the web for you. We can also make a contribution where necessary to accelerate you. Just a brief note again. You discuss, you prepare, you identify, and you practice. Practice by yourself. Even practicing in a mirror is so much cheaper than going and practice where it counts. When people start playing golf, they don't just go on an 18-hole golf course because, that becomes a very long day and a very long walk. You want to practice on the driving range. You maybe want to get yourself a teaching pro. Now, we recommend that you use the people around you, that you use identified people. Those are your teaching pros because they can observe, they can give you feedback, and they will make very sure that you stay on track. If you then look at the third step, you've now identified the people who can influence and assist you to gain access to the challenges that you want. And when the challenges you've chosen, why you've chosen them, the benefits of those challenges are clear and you've practiced them. People love a man with a plan. I've never seen companies turn people with a plan away. At Northwest University in South Africa, where we do a lot of pro bono work with Prof. Japie Kroon, we found that students, when they approach these companies that they've chosen with a plan, they always get the job they want. It's extremely exciting to participate and see the excitement in their faces. We recently had a very senior guy earning $200,000, having the same experience. When he's done the steps and he went back to his own environment, he now has a bit of a problem. He's got almost 6 job offers. And he's now having a very hard time which one to say no to. What a nice problem to have. He sometimes gets frustrated with the choice. but I insist it's a super problem to have. So you ask and you share. You use the sharing and questioning skills. You respect and acknowledge and say thank you. And with a clear plan, nobody will refuse you when you have this approach. Again, the supporting information is in the website for free. Just to summarize the process, people often sit with fear of failure and perceived risks. Now remember that fear just stands for first evidence, false evidence in appearing real. And fail just stands for first attempt in learning. All our lives we have learned that way. Why stop now? You know, the higher up we get, the more scared it seems to me we get. When we were young, we learned a lot quicker and we would challenge impossible things and sometimes break our arm. But then you would do it again. Same here. So just know what you want to do, prepare, engage, know your store of goodies. You have a long list of assets. We found that people find it very hard to articulate their own assets. If you look at the list, relationships I think often is one of the most valuable ones. Just talk to the people around you. They will tell you things that you can't believe. On the website, there's also a lot of free tools to help you articulate the value that you already have accumulated and earned. The resources outside are almost limitless. If you use this process to go and engage those resources, they will never say no to you. You'll be amazed what is available if you engage in an organized, planned way. It's like making your own staircase and climb it. Now I know that's a bit scary when you sit in a safe place and you now move. To make and climb a staircase at the same time may appear scary, but if it's a clear system, it's secure and safe. So once more, you explore, you prepare, you engage. In the process of going external and bringing it internal, you already accelerate and grow your store. As the recent people have found, as people in the corporate yesterday had to say that if they do more of this, they will grow their own careers and their company. In the process, you align your job with your chosen company, which you can change, and a chosen industry. Even that you can change. The more you change, it just takes a bit longer. But you use your current store, current position, to make sure you make that transition safe and secure. If you then align the work you do with the job and a career you want long term. Now I find very few people have a long-term career aim or beacon. They just do the job and hope to get paid more. Now you know you're going to get paid more. You end up that you are in charge of your future and your career aims. They are aligned. You have a plan. That gives you clear insights, knowledge, and an absolute confidence which people just love. You will find it attracts people moving to the great space from the perceived limitations boxes. That where it's like a glass plate, you can see it but you can't touch. Man, the glass plate just disappears. Again, the examples around us at the moment are very heartening and plays to my passion to see people take wing and fly. It's such a joy to see their eyes light up. That's what makes my life today. We built in that you have a clear career purpose, job purpose, aligned with the company's mission and vision, but this is your own. Your objectives and goals short term, your tasks that you do daily, should dynamically be kept in line with the changing vision and mission. Much more on this, but this is very important to us that people realize that any career is the same as almost a business plan, project plan, similar elements, worthwhile using those tools. If you then look at the rules, very many people spend their time resisting, fighting, querying the rules. Accept the rules, you can always influence them later. Know the rules, Align your decisions to thrive from the rules. Whether the rules are good or bad doesn't really matter that much. Also, move along by asking other people, engaging other people. You open up the space of the possibles. And this is where you probably find your new challenges. You move the line along to increase your productivity space and move. If you then look to summarize, how do you approach these people? I'm just going to run through these tricks very slowly. But the key thing is that you've got to ask questions, and you've got to understand how to ask open questions, exploratory questions, closed questions. And again, you now know all that information is available free. If you practice this information with your friends, aiming in your own direction, discovering, exploring, by the time you come to the influencers, you are ready and confident. Remember, a man with confidence is always welcome. If you just look a brief look at the website then, specific, measurable, accountable goals are critical. So if you look at planning your performance, you can see there's a whole lot of business and career tools available here. We've bundled them in groups to address specific situations, and not just like a library, although they are also available as a library. But if you now look at, you can look at a whole lot of issues here under performance management on the site. But if I look at, for instance now, career success or career mentorship or any one of these items, you will understand that if you look at career planning and performance as an example, then we've bundled a whole group of tools that are applicable to that specific career performance, and this will support you in choosing your next challenges, communicate your value, become a strongly driving cogwheel in the business model. So if you then look in conclusion, for those who are now ready for more challenges, that very privileged position, moving from the perceptions of limitations to the great space, there's the business tool set, which I just touched on. There is the personal tool set, obviously aligned. So I would just like to invite you to look out for the next Career Maker System email, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it for you. Congratulations if you are in this position where you have a great job, and all you now got to do is to know which challenges to say yes to and which to say no to.